Tonight, 1,500 active duty soldiers are on alert for possible deployment to Minnesota. Those troops just on standby for now. But the city of Minneapolis remains on edge. After anti-ICE protesters disrupted this Sunday service, the Justice Department says it's now investigating. Protesters targeting the church because one of the pastors is also the director of an ICE field office. DHS says roughly 3,000 undocumented immigrants have been arrested during this crackdown in Minneapolis, including violent criminals. Agents storming this home. The family of the man living there says they terrorized his 5-year-old grandson and never asked for ID before pulling him out in his underwear into the bitter cold, releasing him an hour later. DHS says the man, a U.S. citizen, lived with 2 sex offenders they are still looking for. But his family disputes that, saying he only lives with relatives and none are sex offenders. And new tonight, allegations that some detained by ICE were denied access to legal counsel, including protester William Vermi, a U.S. citizen. Seen here being arrested after filming ICE officers right outside his house. He says he was detained for more than 8 hours and not allowed to see an attorney. And David, as protests press on here in Minneapolis, DHS denies blocking access to legal counsel for anyone in his custody and says that anyone they detain receives access to full due process rights.
Having said that, it's well-established law since the 1950s that Congress passed that the Immigration Act is legal. And so these agents are there enforcing federal law, whether people like it or not. That is their right not to like it, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't apply to them. And so I think that's what we're missing here is the fact that, yeah, we may not like the law, but it's well-established law, and federal law works in Minnesota just as well as it does anywhere else in the United States.